What is up guys, I do hope you're well and welcome back to another Entitled Parents. If you are new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe button and maybe even notification bell. And now let's get straight into it. Menstruation is bad. Hey y'all, coming at you with a little tale from my encounter with an EM this morning. Characters are just EM, her son, and yours truly. Not really NSFW, but some mention of Mother Nature's Red River and associated body parts, so if that bothers you, you were warned. So I'm in the middle of my monthly visit from Mother Nature, and I realise I was out of sanitary products. I stopped by my local supermarket before I commuted to uni, so I could stock up, and decided to treat myself to a meal deal, so I wouldn't have to eat overpriced campus food later. Not to brag or anything, but I got the sickest sandwich. Paid and left. Or normal, right? I decided not to get a carrier bag, save the turtles, but definitely overestimating my ability to carry. Of course I had no pockets, because women's clothes don't fucking have any. So I find myself juggling my phone, wallet, car keys, sandwich, cereal bar, bottled water and tampons in just my two small hands. And of course I park far, far away from the doors, so as to minimise interacting with people. Standard. So I'm doing this awkward half walk, half jog back to my car and focusing really hard on not dropping my sandwich, so I don't immediately see the EM and a small child walking near me. When I do see them, it's almost because I'm walking into them, and the conversation goes like this. Oh hey, I'm sorry I didn't see you there. It's fine, no worry. Her beady little eyes clock onto my hands and she stops mid-sentence. She just stares at my hands. Now my sandwich did look good. I can't say I blamed her for looking at first. But I was a little weirded out. I gave her a couple of seconds to find her voice. I realised she's not going to continue and politely carry on my voyage to my vehicle. I don't really look at EM and her son, but I guess at some point they were walking again in the same direction as me. What do you know, they're the proud owners of the only car in my carefully selected deserted car park corner. Parked a few spaces down from me. Hey! Hey you! Hi? You shouldn't wave those things around, you know. There's boys here. What? Those things you're holding, they're personal items. Get a carrier bag. I look down and finally realise she's referring to my tampons. Now maybe it's just me, but I don't really see an issue with carrying my shopping to my car without a bag, even if my shopping is sanitary products. They aren't exactly dirty mags, are they? And I have needs. I kind of just brush it off and carry on. I hear her say something else with a huff, but couldn't make out the words, so I just carried on with my morning. Now I get to my car and realise my dilemma. Hands full plus car locked equals struggle. Being the bulkiest thing I'm holding, I put my tampon box on the roof of my car, so I have room to manoeuvre my keys and get my car door open. I'm merrily doing so when I feel the presence beside me, and then a scrawny clawed arm reaches over my shoulder and snatches my tampons from where they lay. I turn around and there she is, looking absolutely livid. What the fuck are you doing? How dare you? I told you once already. These shouldn't be flaunted around. I have my son right there with me, and he doesn't need to see that. See what exactly? A cardboard box? You know what? These are intimate products, and there are children here. At this point she shoves the box back into my hands. Now put them away where they belong. Her son, who can't be more than 6, starts to tug at her. Mummy, let's go, I have school. Yeah baby, we're going now. I was just chatting to this lady. Chatting? You just screamed in my face and assaulted me over some tampons. Edit to clarify, I use the word assault in a slightly dramatic sense, a verbal assault context, because I thought it would make her back off. She didn't actually touch me or anything. What are tampons? EM gave a little shriek and grabbed her darling son protectively before fixing at me with a glare. See what you did? Whatever lady, I'm leaving. I get in my car fully ready to drive away, but EM just stood and looking at me as if I just kicked a puppy or 7. Something about it really ticked me off. So I wound my window down, and just as I pulled away, gave her a cheery wave of the tampon box and a smile. Off to stuff these up my vagina! The screeching was unintelligible over the sound of my engine, but I didn't need to hear the words to know the vibe of what she said. Oh my god! Really, as a mother as well, surely she should know that, like, come on. Everyone talks about tampons now, they're not exactly a taboo subject anymore. And being a mother, a woman, she should know so much better, and males should know about these products too, and that women need them, etc. I mean, come on, people! P.S. I'm not trying to white knight there. EM pushes me out of my seat. So this happened just a few minutes ago, and it absolutely baffles me how trashy a person could be. So a few days ago, my friend asked me if I wanted to go to the park today. I'm sick and have a broken ankle, but I reluctantly agreed. Earlier when I got to the park, it was almost empty. There were a few kids playing on the swing set, and the occasional one running around. I was waiting on my friend to get here since she was running late. I was standing up for a while, but since my ankle was broken, it started to hurt very badly. I ended up sitting down at an empty bench. After about 10 minutes, a woman, EM, and her daughter, Kay, pulled up in a car. When they exited the vehicle, the EM immediately noticed me. She walked up to me and placed her hand on the bench. "Hi there, honey." Hi? "My daughter really wants this seat. Do you think you could move?" "Sure." I didn't exactly know why she wanted the seat. There were plenty of other benches, and that one wasn't under the shade. When I got up out of the seat, I guess EM noticed the boot I was wearing. Before I sat down at the other one, she stopped me. "Oh my god, what happened?" "Oh, I broke my ankle." "That's terrible. How did you do it?" "Oh, I just fell." My ankle was really starting to hurt now, and my other leg was getting tired from me putting weight on it. I decided to sit down at the bench I was at, but EM began to yell at me. "Are you kidding me? Do you realise how disrespectful it is to sit while talking?" Keep in mind that EM was also sitting. "Oh, I'm sorry, it's just my ankle really starts to hurt if I stand on it, and my other leg gets tired." "I don't care. Whenever an adult is talking to you, you always stand up." She continued to scold me and eventually started to list things wrong about me in general. Once she was done, I sat down and still waited for my friend. When my friend finally got to the park, I went and greeted her. We began walking around and eventually passed EM. We sat down on the bench again, and I felt a strong hand on my back, and before I knew it, I was on the ground. When I got up, I looked behind me, and EM was the only person there. "What's your problem, lady?" "Excuse me? Who do you think you are? Do you realise you just pushed not only a minor, but a person who was already injured?" "I don't care. It's your fault." "Alright then." At this point, EM seemed happy since she thought she had the victory. Keyword, thought. I had ended up calling the police about EM, and they came and got her. She tried to run, but they got her. What EM did to me didn't bother me. What bothered me is the thought that she might have done it to her own child. Yeah, that's a good point, you know. If she's willing to push a minor over, especially one with a broken ankle already, who knows what she might be doing to her own children. That's a good shout, so fair play to you. Entitled kid tries to steal a $1,500 gaming laptop and does an oopsie. A bit of context here. I was about 15 years old when this happened, but during the holidays outside of school, I would sometimes work in my parents' office. They owned a small company and I worked in various areas such as data entry, cleaning, and sorting out showrooms for products. My parents trusted me to do the job, and I became fairly close with the people who worked there, basically family. In comes the EK and his parents. EK's parents, which we shall now call EPs, were fairly calm and chill people from the start, and were polite for the most part. However, EK was an utter shit show. He was the type of kid you would send to the ranch if you made it on Dr. Phil. I love the ranch. The encounter happened like this. During breaks or during days I wanted to chill in the office because there was air conditioning and fast Wi-Fi, I'd play on my gaming laptop, which I earned by working in the office. Because I wasn't there constantly, I'd play in the corner of the showrooms, but if I had a job to do, I would do it. This is when EK and his family enter the office, and I come to greet them and ask if they need anything. They say no, so I chill out and go back to playing Minecraft. The EPs go talk to my parents while the EK walks around the showroom. At this point I believe that EK was about 8 to 11 years old, because he's still fascinated about things like the products we have in our showroom. Nothing special, just some simple toys. EK decides that he's now too old for toys about 5 minutes after staring at them, and decides to walk up to me. He comes up to my chair and looks at my screen for a solid 30 seconds before saying, "Is that Minecraft?" in an excited cancer-filled squeaker voice. Yes. I knew an incoming storm was about to occur, and I was bracing myself for further questioning on the subject that is Minecraft. "Do you have any mods?" "No, I prefer to play vanilla. I have a Lucky Blocks mod and over 100 diamonds." "Cool, so you also have the game?" EK quickly rushes to his mum to get his iPad. Turns out he had the shitty app version, not even the real Minecraft Pocket Edition. "Can I play with you?" "Sorry, but you need a computer to play with me." "Oh, okay, can I use yours?" Sorry dude, I need to use this computer for work." He then proceeds to watch me for like another 15 minutes asking other stupid questions like what games do I have and how my laptop looks cool. I'm hungry." "Okay." I page my mum on the intercom to her room and she tells me to go and get some chips and water from the pantry. So I do so, leaving my laptop unattended. By this time the EP and my parents have finished talking and we're probably about to go to lunch. But I see EK struggling to take my laptop because of the power cable and mouse connected to it. I see this and just let out a sigh. "What are you doing?" EK looks at me in surprise and then proceeds to drop my laptop. Rip me. EP and my parents come in to see the mess he has created and proceeds to cry to his parents about how I didn't let him play on my laptop. EP now tells my parents that I should be fired and how I endangered their child. And as things go with entitled parent stories, the EP gets shown the CCTV footage and security guards from the building come and escort them out. I salvaged the SSD from my now destroyed laptop, but in my case my parents decided to step in when they tell them to fire me. This is when the revelation happens and they shit themselves. I'm still holding the chips and laughing on the inside, but in the end I was reimbursed with the money I paid for the laptop, along with the EPs not being able to close the deal. My parents told me that their company went bankrupt about 2 years ago, so karma for spawning their crutch goblin. What do you mean you don't have suckers? I used to take DNA swabs for paternity cases while in college. It was a great job, but it required a lot of professionalism and following steps to the letter to keep things straight, since people's livelihoods and the well-being of children was in the balance. Most of the time it was an easy job, pretty fun. Some days I had no clients at all and got paid to sit and study for 12 hours a week. Pay was excellent because of the level of responsibility. You had to write everyone's name down, write their ID numbers and demographic info down, write the case numbers down, photograph everyone, label the photographs, affix the photos to the form, label the envelope for the swabs, label a sticker to hold the swabs together, take the 3 swabs, seal the envelope's forms in a bag and initial the seal. Then at the end of the shift, seal all the samples in a shipping bag, affix a label and drop it off immediately, as well as record everyone on a separate sheet and fax it in the end of your shift before you leave the premises. It was hardcore. I had 3 sites in the country I covered regularly, one of which was my favourite because it was almost exclusively infants going into foster care. Excited new foster parents would bring them in, we'd chat and I filled stuff out. I'd swab the sleeping infant who was none the wiser, boom, done. At the other sites, sometimes the child was too young to understand that I had no choice but to swab them and would flip out a little, but the parent would usually take them in their lap, gently place their hand on their forehead so they couldn't thrash and I could take swabs. No biggie. Well, one time I'm at the site where it's usually just infants, a lady comes in with a 3 or 4-year-old boy. Everything's fine and dandy, we're chatting, I take pictures, I fill out the paperwork, I prep the swabs. She pops the kid on the edge of the table and I go in. He immediately starts screaming and turns his head every which way. I sigh and step back and regroup and try to calmly explain. "Hey my dude, the judge downstairs said we have to do this. I have to take these sticks in your mouth for just a few seconds, then it'll all be over, okay?" He looks at me, grins this evil grin I've never forgotten, and starts screaming and kicking. He knocks the swabs out of my hand. I sigh and go back to get the swabs out of another kit. He's totally fine while I do that. I come back and try again. He kicks me square in the jaw with his little light up sneakers. It didn't hurt that much, but it caught me off guard. Foster mum hasn't done anything or said anything at this point, so I turn to her and say, "I'm sorry mum, but I have to take the sample. Could you please hold your child?" "Oh, he's fine. He just wants a sucker. He does this all the time. Give him a sucker and he'll be fine." "I don't have any suckers." "What do you mean you don't have suckers?" "I'm not allowed to have any food or drink aside from water in here. The people that own the building aren't even allowed to store food in this room when it's not in use because it's used for taking swabs. I don't have any suckers and I can't give him any." "Well, he's not going to calm down until you give him a sucker." Me, super mad at this point. "Mum, if you don't hold your child still so I can take the sample, we have 2 options. I can call security to hold him for you, or I can call the judge and tell him that I'm unable to take a court-ordered sample because you will not restrain or allow someone else to restrain the kid." "Well, I never." She held the kid, just barely enough that I could get in, get 3 quick swabs, and get out, and then the kid was fine. I must have gotten a good sample because I've never gotten a notification that we needed to re-swab. That was really the worst incident I ever had. Most of the time, the worst that had happened is someone brought in a kid eating a snack, and I have to have them rinse their mouth, or I'd get a solo alleged father who'd ask for my phone number. Imagine getting kicked square in the jaw, I'd be pissed off! Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Loved having you here as always. If you do like this content, please click that like button, that subscribe and maybe even the notification bell. And I'll see you on the next one.